Hey everyone, it's Dave Paris, and in an effort to keep my guitar skills improving and to not forget how to play guitar, I recently took a Berklee guitar course, and in this course they briefly touched on the concept of these drop jazz chords, these drop 2s, drop 2-4 and such. Now, to me, those chords seemed really overcomplicated. I come from a classical music theory background, and I know that these turf wars exist between classical players and jazz players, and how the concepts and chord construction and such is conceptualized and things. So, you know, when I was learning about contrary and oblique motion and 4-part voicings and Neapolitan 6 chords and such, jazz players were learning to take a chord and drop the second highest note an octave and such. And so I'm not going to go into a whole lot about the concept of these drop 2 chords and drop 2-4s and such. There's plenty of great musicians out there that are explaining that, and my guess is if you're here, you probably already know a little bit about it. So what I wanted to do was, because of the way I struggled with it, I took it from more of an approach of just creating chords from a stationary standpoint. And so I just wanted to get familiar with the neck in one location and try to build chords based off of that. Not be so concerned about what the voicing, what the voicing was. Maybe do worry about that after the fact and such. So I just kind of I just started taking a dart and just throwing it at the fretboard and picking a place. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to show an example of my approach to learning these jazz chords and building these voicings and things. And so I'm going to take 8 measures of famous jazz standard song that I can't mention by name, and the title deals with seasons changing, for example. So summer comes and summer goes, and winter comes and winter leaves, and spring comes and spring goes and such. And so from that, you should know that the chord progression that I'm going to deal with is going to be A minor 7 to D7, G major 7 to C major 7, then F sharp half diminished or F sharp minor 7 flat 5 to B7, and then 2 measures of E minor with I'm going to throw the 7th on it and such. So we'll just start from 5th position. So I'm going to keep my first finger around the 5th fret as much as I can and such. So this is example 1. I'd like to hear it. Here it goes. So, you could argue that this first inversion B7 that I used violated 5th position because I came down here, I kind of broke my own unbreakable rule or whatever. And I used, I could have used this B7, I could have went here. For E minor, I used this one, and then I went to this, what I would call a first inversion E minor 7. It could also be a G6 chord. It could be a lot of things based off of what you're doing. And some of these chords are droppy. But what I wanted to do, like I say, was I wanted to just kind of build from right here. And there's a lot of different things that we could use within that spot and such. So let's go up to the 7th fret and let's build from the 7th fret. So I would do, so now the first inversion D7 chord that I used is the same voicing that I used down here, and I chose to use this C major 7, I believe, we could have done a lot of different things. I could have used maybe this C major 7. We could have been here doing it. So my whole idea was just to take one place and get familiar with as many chords as possible within there. And I didn't care about it being a circle of fifths kind of movement. And I wasn't trying to take a certain note, take the next highest note, drop it down an octave and put the voice in and force that in there. And I just looked at these chords from the standpoint of how would I build the chords? How would I build my ideas within one location? And so you could do that anywhere. You could maybe say that you wanted to take everything off of the the 5th fret, and then you're playing here, and then you have a D7 here. You might use this G major 7. You might go to something like this, depending upon how you wanted to do the C major 7, what you wanted your next chord to be, how you wanted to do your voicings. You could say you wanted to take everything off the 6th string, and then suddenly you're here. Maybe you want to be in, maybe you want to do everything open or just on, just on one string or something like that. But the point is, my thing was I wasn't so much concerned with trying to create this formula. I just wanted to build the voicings and then let the concept kind of come in around that. So take some of these ideas and play with it and see what you can come up with as far as building the chords and within, maybe within the rules or maybe not within the rules and such. And I did this based off of a stationary position for chording. I'm going to go ahead and do a video for soloing. I think I'll put something out about doing your solos in a stationary position. And the more familiar you are with one position, the easier it is to start moving those things around. So at any rate, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your interest. I welcome any feedback, and you can contact me through comments here, or if you're interested in more on me, and I do mean more on, you can go to my official website at daveparis.com. I'm also active in social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the rest. Just look forward to any comments, any suggestions, and hope to see you all out here in Cyberland. Thanks a lot.